The holiday season is coming up, and today we're gonna be making a cozy dessert that tastes great and is super moist. Hey everybody, it's Roshan and my mom.
I'm Divya Topai.
And today, me and my mom are gonna be making double chocolate date brownies from my good friend of Bobby Parrish and Deshi Parrish from Flav City. Let's get started, shall we? So this recipe that we're gonna be making is from the brand new 5-ingredient semi-homemade cookbook, which makes recipe cooking a lot easier. Here's the recipe. So here's an image of the actual recipe itself, and here are the ingredients for the actual recipe.
The ingredients are 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, half a teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon salt. Flour mix is 2 cups almond flour, 1 cup arrowroot starch, 2/3 cup coconut flour, 1/3 cup tapioca starch, 2/3 cup cocoa powder, half a cup chocolate chips, 1 cup melted coconut oil, 4 eggs, 15 large Medjool dates.
Now that we have incorporated the ingredients together and have preheated the oven to 350 degrees, now it's time to mix them together. In this case, we're going to use 15 Medjool dates. The reason why we are actually using Medjool dates over gluten dates is because they have more flavor and it's a lot more juicier in this case. In this case, what we are doing is actually we're soaking them in hot water. This will help to soften up the dates. And in this case, we're going to blend them up on a high-speed blender. A food processor works best, but this is what we have to utilize with. So we're going to insert our dates in. This is 15 Medjool dates with the pits removed. We're going to add that into the blender. And then we're going to blend it for a little bit. And then make it into a paste in this case.
So once we puree the dates, we are going to add the eggs one by one and then mix them.
Until a smooth caramel-like consistency. That's the goal of the dates. Took us a while in this blender. We used actually more water than normal in this recipe.
So add water as required. The dates were so dry, so we had to add a little bit more extra water.
So once we blend the dates and eggs together, we're going to add in 1 cup of melted coconut oil and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
And we have to blend this first before we add in the cocoa powder. So right now this is the consistency. I will be adding in the cocoa powder. Mix them a little bit.
And cinnamon, which is optional.
And then blend them again.
In the beginning, since we blended the dates, eggs, vanilla extract, it was a more caramel-like consistency. Now that we added in the cacao powder, it's more of a brown color consistency. Next, we're going to add in the paleo flour mix, which consists of 2 cups of almond flour, 1 cup of arrowroot starch, 2/3 cup of coconut flour, and 1/3 cup of tapioca flour. This replaces all-purpose baking flour, and we're gonna have to rest this for 5 to 10 minutes, and the reason is because of these paleo flours, they need to bind together so that it creates a more cakey like experience. So now I'm gonna add in the 3 cups of paleo flour baking mix into the blender.
2/3 cup.
No, 3/4 of a cup. That's what we're using here. Correction, we actually use 3/4 of a cup of the paleo baking flour mix, not 2/3 of a cup. Then we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. In goes the blender. And last but not least, half a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. Once this is blended, we're gonna rest it for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're gonna top it off of half a cup of paleo chocolate chips. These ones are from Hue chocolate chips, which consist of coconut palm sugar, cacao powder, and cocoa butter. And now we're gonna blend it. Oh, no. All right, so after mixing the mix, now we put it in the baking sheet. And then after that, we top it off with half a cup of paleo chocolate chips and walnuts, which is actually an optional ingredient that I'm adding here. So I'll put these in one by one. Nice thing about these chocolate chips is that they're sweetened with coconut palm sugar. Coconut palm sugar is an unrefined sweetener from the coconut nectar blossom. Has a really nice caramel nutty flavor, and it complements these brownies really nicely since it is using dates as the primary sweetener in this case. It totally would taste great even without them, but the addition of these chocolate chips are actually really nice here in this case. So I'm setting these down on the brownies, and it's all clean ingredients here in this case, and it's paleo, dairy-free, and gluten-free as well too, which is really nice as well too. It is vegetarian, however, not vegan, since we did use eggs. However, if you did want to make them vegan, you can totally use a flaxseed egg by mixing water and flaxseed meal in this case. So once you're done putting in the toppings, which in this case is chocolate chips and walnuts as the optional ingredient, now we're finally time to bake them at 350 degrees in the oven. Let's go. Now this will take about 40 to 45 minutes into baking. After that, these need a rest for 20 to 25 minutes. And after that, we are done and we can finally enjoy. In they go in the oven. Here's the finished product. 50 minutes later in the oven, and it's all clean. Can't wait to try this out.